Anger and forgiveness. Anger. Anger is not a clever response. Wise people are happy, and happy people don't get angry. Firstly, anger is irrational. One day, when our monastery vehicle pulled up at a red traffic light alongside another car, I noticed that the driver of the other vehicle was ranting at the lights. "You damned traffic lights! You knew I had an important appointment. You knew I was running late. And you let that other car through just ahead of me, you swine! And this is not the first time either." He was blaming the traffic lights, as if they had much choice. He thought the traffic lights hurt him on purpose. "Aha, here he comes. I know he's late. I'll just let this other car through first, and then... Red! Stop! Got him!" The traffic lights might appear malicious, but they're just being traffic lights, that's all. What do you expect from traffic lights? I imagined him reaching home late and his wife ranting at him. "You damn husband! You knew we had an important appointment. You knew not to be late. And you saw to other business ahead of me, you swine. And this is not the first time either." She was blaming her husband, as if he had much choice. She thought her husband hurt her on purpose. "Aha! I've got an appointment with my wife. I'll be late. I'll just see to this other person first." Late! Got her! Husbands might appear malicious, but they're just being husbands, that's all. What do you expect from husbands? The characters and events in this story may be changed to suit most occasions of anger. The trial. In order to express your anger, you have to justify it to yourself first. You have to convince yourself that anger is deserved, appropriate, right. In the mental process that is anger, it is as if a trial occurs in your mind. The accused stands in the dock in the court in your mind. You are the prosecutor. You know they are guilty, but to be fair, you have to prove it to the judge, your conscience, first. You launch into a graphic reconstruction of the crime against you. You infer all sorts of malice, duplicity, and sheer cruelty of intention behind the accused's deed. You dredge up from the past their many other crimes against you to convince your conscience that they deserve no mercy. In a real court of law, the accused has a lawyer too who is allowed to speak. But in this mental trial, you are in the process of justifying your anger. You don't want to hear pathetic excuses or unbelievable explanations or weak pleas for forgiveness. The lawyer for the defence is not allowed to speak. In your one-sided argument, you construct a convincing case. That's good enough. Conscience brings down the hammer and they're guilty. Now we feel okay at being angry with them. Many years ago, this is the process I saw happen in my own mind whenever I got angry. It seemed so unfair. So the next time I wanted to get angry with someone, I paused to let the defence lawyer have their say. I thought up plausible excuses and probable explanations for their behaviour. I gave importance to the beauty of forgiveness. I found that conscience would not allow a verdict of guilty any more. It became impossible to judge the behaviour of another. Anger, not being justifiable, was starved of its food and died. The retreat. The trigger for much of our anger is frustrated expectation. We sometimes invest so much of ourselves in a project that when it doesn't turn out as it should, we become irate. All shoulds point to an expectation, a prediction for the future. We might have realised by now that the future is uncertain, unpredictable. Relying too much on an expectation for the future, a should, is asking for trouble. A Western Buddhist I knew many years ago became a monk in the Far East. He joined a very strict, remote meditation monastery in the mountains. Every year they held a 60-day meditation retreat. It was tough, it was rigid, not for weak minds. They rose at 3 a.m. and by 3:10 a.m. they were sitting cross-legged in meditation. The whole day was regimented into a routine of 50 minutes sitting meditation, 10 minutes walking meditation, 50 minutes sitting meditation, 10 minutes walking meditation, and so on. They took their meals in the meditation hall, sitting cross-legged in their meditation place. No talking was allowed. At 10 p.m. they could lie down to sleep, but only in the meditation hall in the same spot where they had been meditating. Getting up at 3 a.m. was optional. You could get up earlier if you wanted, but not later. The only break was for the daily interview with the fearsome master, and short toilet breaks, of course. After 3 days, the legs and back of the Western monk were very sore. He was not used to sitting so long in a position that was so uncomfortable for a Westerner. Moreover, he still had another 8 weeks to go. He began to doubt seriously whether he could endure such a long retreat. At the end of the first week, things weren't getting any better. He was often in agony, sitting like that hour after hour. Those who have been on a 10-day meditation retreat would know how painful it can get. He had another 7.5 weeks to face. This man was tough-minded. He gathered all his determination and endured second by second. By the end of the first fortnight, he'd really had enough. The pain was too much. His Western body wasn't cut out for this sort of treatment. This was not Buddhism, the middle way. Then he looked around at the Asian monks also gritting their teeth, and pride pushed him through another fortnight. During this time his body felt as if on fire with pain. His own